Hello, Logic class. Lesson 58. Dare to seek truth. Okay, that was the creepiest intro ever. Anyway, our last logic class, guys. Besides the test, this is the last one besides the test. Okay? Lesson 58, Dare to Seek Truth. So we're going to have a quick lesson, go over a few things, and then I'm going to review for the test. So make absolutely sure you go through my entire review to make sure you are properly prepared for the final test in logic, because some of you really need a good grade on this test. Just saying. Can't afford to bomb this one. Can't afford it. Alright. So, anyway, here we go. Sorry, my phone is ringing in the background. There it goes. Anyway. Alright, so lesson 58. Dare to seek truth. Okay? Guys, this is very, very important. One of the most important things you will ever learn in school or in life is to be somebody who relentlessly, courageously, and carefully pursues truth. Okay? So, a quote from G.K. Chesterton. I know we've used his quotes a lot this year, but he was a wise man. Okay? You can only find truth with logic if you have already found truth without it. Quote from G.K. Chesterton. So, that statement is loaded with meaning. There's a lot of things there. But I think kind of what he's saying is that logic is not an end. It's a tool, right? So not everybody has taken a course in logic. Not everybody understands everything about squares of opposition and relationships and presuppositions and all these things. Not everybody gets that. But that just because they don't have that knowledge about, quote unquote formal logic doesn't mean that they are not capable of finding truth themselves. So logic is not an end. Just because you don't know logic doesn't mean you can't find truth, right? But it is a tool, and it is an extremely helpful tool. Okay? If you're somebody who truly loves truth, you should like logic as well, because logic helps you find it. It helps you become more precise, more efficient, more just more successful in your search for truth. All right. So logic is not an end; it's a tool, but it is a very helpful tool. You will use the principles of logic throughout your life in any field that you get into, whether you're a mother or an engineer, carpenter, doctor, you name it. Okay? Understanding logic will help you in tremendous ways. So yes, it truly, truly does. There's many ways that logic can help you. There's many people, many things out there that are going to try to dissuade you from finding the truth, try to get you off the path. Okay, you have to deal with this almost every day. Advertisements that try to persuade you that you need something that you don't need. Philosophies that you read about on the internet, and right now with coronavirus going on, there's all kinds of crazy things flying around on the internet. Don't believe everything you read, okay? Don't believe everything you hear. Don't believe everything you see. Don't believe something just because you want to believe it, or because it feels good to believe it. Seek the truth. Pursue the truth. Chase after the truth. Be someone who relentlessly pursues truth. Okay? Got it? Awesome. So it will be on Teams, your assignment. I want you to read pages 289 to 292. And then I want you to do write the answers to the questions on page 291. It's just 2 questions. Part of your reading is the allegory of the cave. I think we've read it before, but I want you guys to read it again, and I want you to think carefully about what Mr. Plato was talking about when he gave us the allegory of the cave. It's a simple story, but it has a profound lesson. Are we people who want the truth, or are we content to be stuck in a cave looking at shadows? Or do we want the real thing? Okay? So read the allegory of the cave, answer the questions on page 291, and there are questions you have to think about. You can't just like, oh, there's the answer. You got to think about those questions. Think about your answers. All right? Okay, let's review. 4. Formal logic test 4. So the first question. Name. Do you know your name? That's the first question, okay? So make sure you're ready for that. Make sure you're prepared. Put your name on the test, all right? Number 1, actually the first question. That's not really the real first question is, the blank life is not worth blank. I'm kind of giving this away. Some things will, anyway, sorry. Yeah, well, can you finish the quote? The blank life is not worth blank. The unexamined life is not worth living. Okay? The unexamined life is not worth living. Make sure you know that quote for the test. Some other things that you should make sure you know for the test. Make sure you know the relationships between like AO statements, IO statements, let's see, AI statements, EO statements, IA statements, OE statements, AE statements, all those different relationships on the square of opposition. Make sure you know what they are. So there's 5 different relationships: contrariety, subcontrariety, contradiction, superimplication, and subimplication. Make sure you know those relationships. Okay? Now, here's the deal. Once again, you need to draw the square of opposition. Alright? You have to have that memorized in your head so you can draw it. If you know the square of opposition and you know how to draw it, then you will know those relationships, right? It's very important that you know how to draw the square of opposition. There were some of you that didn't draw it at all last time. I won't mention any first names, but the last names were Weaver and Schwarzentrooper, I believe. Sorry about that. Anyway, the square of opposition is worth a lot of points, okay, because it has a lot of details. So it's worth a lot of points. Make sure you know how to draw the square of opposition. Okay, never be afraid to sit a while and do what? Think. Yeah, buddy, it's important. In order for a sentence to be a proposition, what does it have to have? What does it have to have? It has to have a truth value. Now, just because it has a truth value doesn't mean it's true. A truth value means it can be either true or false. Okay? There are some sentences that do not have truth values, like questions. A question can't be either true or false. It's just a question. Okay? Nonsense can't be true or false. It's just nonsense. But a sentence that can be true or false has a truth value, and that's what we call a proposition. What are the 2 things that arguments typically have? The 2 things that, or excuse me, yeah, they have 2. Oh boy, I'm trying to remember what it is now. 2. It's 1 conclusion. I know that. What's the other thing? 2, oh shoot. Can't remember what it's called. I'll check that out here in a little bit for you. Okay? I can't remember. 2 arguments. An argument typically arguments typically have 2 something and 1 conclusion. Figure that one out. Anyway. Don't take the wrong side of an argument just because your opponent has taken the right side. A quote by Balthazar Gracian. All right, let's see. What are the three kinds of disputes? The three types of disputes? Three types. Empirical, definitional, and presuppositional. What's the difference between them? What kind of dispute is a dispute that arises over the meaning of words? That's a definitional dispute. What kind of dispute is a dispute over facts? That's an empirical dispute. What kind of dispute is a dispute that centers around people's opinions or views of the world? That's a presuppositional dispute. What kind of victory is it when the cost of the victory causes serious damage to the victor? What kind of victory is that called? Anybody? That's a Pyrrhic victory. Oh, let's see, what else? One of the most important steps to solving disagreements is to make sure that you do what? Define terms accurately. To make sure you understand each other's definitions, right? What is the sum total of all the members of a class? Sum total of all the members of a class is extension. The sum total of qualities that identify which entities are members of a class is intension. Good. How do you define using genus and difference? Genus and difference is when you define a word by giving a genus or a larger group that the thing fits into and then name a feature that sets it apart from the other things in that category. Remember that? Genus and difference. Many people waste their time and energy arguing about surface issues rather than addressing the core beliefs at the heart of the argument. Thought-provoking questions that dig into the source of one's belief can help expose the presuppositions that one holds to. Okay? Thought-provoking questions help dig down in there and expose presuppositions. Okay, so once again, learn this today. You can only find truth with, where is that? Logic, if you have found truth without it. Be someone who relentlessly pursues truth. I'm going to go grab some papers quick and see if I can find the answer to that one that I couldn't find. It's bugging me. Give me just a second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let's see, where are we at here? It's got to be here somewhere. Got to be here somewhere. Here, yes. Okay, that was close. So, arguments typically have two premises. And one conclusion. Got it? All right. Fantastic. Hope you guys are having a great, I don't know, whatever, day, night, morning, evening. And again, remember, make sure you know this stuff. Be ready to take the logic test Tuesday, okay, Logic Test Tuesday. Make sure you pick it up Monday morning, and we should be good to go. Got it? All right. Peace out.